Hi crafty friend, it's Justine Dvorak from Stationery by Justine, where when I craft, my world stands still. Today I'm using two new products from Hero Arts. One is a stamp set and one is a die set. And the stamp set does have coordinating dies, which I adore. And we're going to make a fun little autumn card. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut out the main die and then some of the extra apples and leaves that are not part of the stamp set. So I'm going to grab these ones right over here and die cut a whole bunch of apples, leaves, and blossoms. And then we're going to grab the ink blenders and we're going to get inky. So we're going to start by inking the main frame. I have some distress inks here and there. So I'm going to grab the first lighter shade. You do not have to use the colors I am, so I'll just say lighter shade. If you want to recreate this, I am using the Altenew stamp wheel for this because it has a grip mat and it just holds my items down as I am shading and blending ink on top of them. Now I am using the Shading Sidekick from Trinity Stamps for this project because it does give a very nice shade to my projects and I have been loving using them. I hold them like a pencil and just lightly add my color to it. And I do think that starting with white cardstock gives me the opportunity to leave some areas lighter and get a little bit of that lighter shade of green without starting with green cardstock, but that is an option you could do if you don't want to blend all of the things. So now that I'm done with my lighter shade, I'm going to grab a darker shade and just add extra oomph to some of the areas. There really isn't a rhyme to my reasoning of where I'm putting it, but just where I think it looks like it could use a little bit of a darker area. Just think about where it would look good to have it in different areas. So not all at the bottom or all at the top, just kind of smartly planned out where to put it. So kind of every once in a while, not everywhere, but not 2 or 3 places. So it's kind of going counterclockwise here. I don't know. There's just really no rhyme to the reason besides I'm moving it all around. You might be wondering, wait, what about the branches? It's fine. We're going to get back to the branches in a little bit. But since my stamp wheel grip mat has green all over it, we're going to stick with green. And I will ink up the extra leaves that I die cut out, starting again with the darker color or the lighter color, and really making these leaves specifically very dark because this will give a extra little difference in my final project because these leaves will be rather dark. So it just gives a little bit of a different look to the project. And you might be looking at my frame and going, wait a minute, what happened to the apples? They're green on the project. It's fine. You can have green apples if you want, or yellow or red apples or pink. I love pink lady apples. They're delicious. But I'm going to put those little circles that I have on the left there as red apples over the green frame area. So it's okay if there is green on the apples that are on the frame. So everything will dry down a little bit lighter. So I did go ahead and make 5 of those leaves extra dark off camera. Now I'm going to add a lighter red to my apples, and I thought maybe that would be enough, but I actually go ahead and go in with lumberjack plaid, which is a deeper red. It's almost a red violet, just to add a little extra oomph to the apples because I think that it just needed a little extra something. As I was adding that on, I didn't put the dark ink color all on the bottom because I do want it to have like a little bit of a shine still on the apples. So I didn't make them all completely dark, but just a few of them, kind of like the leaves. Now the blossoms, I want the blossoms themselves to be white, but the centers, I would like them to be a light yellow. So I'm just taking my shading tool, whatever was left on there, I thought maybe that would be enough, but I needed to get a little bit of ink on there. So I'm going to grab some Lawn Fawn ink and just smush it all on. I will go ahead and add a special embellishment to the center of the blossoms in a bit. Next, for the branches, you might have been wondering, what about the branches? Well, I'm going to Copic color them right over on top of my ink blending with a darker brown. I think I'm using E37, and I'm just carefully coloring on the branches, and it does make a little circle area for this card project. I think that this is just designed so adorably and very sweet, and it's so easy to put together because of this big back die is all one piece. So now that that's all set, I will go ahead and get my background all set and ready to go. So what I'm going to do for the background is start with a light blue colored cardstock, and then I will grab some ink and just add a few little shadows and shades to the background. I'm not going to make it all one area or really make it like an ombre look at all. And I totally forgot that my blueprint sketch here was almost dry as the desert. So I'm going to grab a different color. Uncharted Mariner, I believe. If I can read that correctly. It's very teeny tiny on the screen where I do my voiceovers, so you probably will be able to see it. But I'm basically just adding ink on the background just in a few places just to give a little bit of shadow and a little bit of difference. But I think that this die would look so cute if you did a white cardstock with a cloud die and did ink blending with clouds on the background. It would be just so sweet and simple. So now that that is all finished, I'm going to add this frame on to my project with a ton of little foam pieces. You can see that there. I do kind of wrestle it on, but using my glass mat there, just supporting it, definitely helped it go on a lot easier. Then if anything is sideways, I always just take my Spellbinders shears and just snip the edges. And surprise, now no one knows it was crooked. Just you and me. Now the fun part of arranging everything. Once again, there is not too much of a rhyme to the reason. The die itself has, I think, 7 apples on there. Nope, 8. 8 apples on the background die. So you could simply put the apples right on top of the background frame, but I like a lot of color, and I like my cards to be kind of over the top fun. So I did go ahead and use almost everything that I have die cut out in my little tidy tray there. So because the apples will be brighter and will be on top of the leaves, I am going to add my extra leaves first and foremost, and then I will finish with the blossoms. They did dry down a little bit, but I am happy that I did some dark leaves as well as the light ones. Now I'll just grab my glue and put the glue where my apples are going. I'm going to start with just following the die and put them right over where the background die has them. There are certain ones that are for certain shapes and such. I didn't really follow that, but you certainly could. The apples are slightly different from each other, which I think is so interesting and adds detail to the card. So it's not just the same apple 20 times, it's a couple different apples multiple times. Just gives a little more of a professional look to the projects, but you don't have to be a professional to make cards. What even is a professional card maker? I don't know. I will have the new release in the description for this video as well. There are a ton of new fall and apple themed items from Hero Arts. So if this is something that you really enjoy making, I definitely would recommend checking out the other items that they have. I just have these 2 items from Hero Arts this month because it's kind of a busy season for me with this whole back to school thing, you know, the real job coming in. But I do think that they have a really cool stencil that has a ladder. It's so neat. You got to check it out. Now for the blossoms, they have a big blossom and a small blossom. So I just went ahead and just kind of bent them a little bit. Again, there's not really like a perfect way to add the blossoms or to bend the flower leaves. I just kind of gently bent them with my hand. And just for interest and excitement, I chopped one of the flowers in half, and I will just tuck it in to certain areas under the apples so it just looks like they are just happen to be growing around. Then I'm going to finish the blossoms with the die cut pieces. Again, there's small and big, so I'll add them in. And then from the Hero Studio monthly subscription card kit, there were these embellishments, so I will go ahead and add those in later. For my embellishment, for my sentiment, I should say, I wanted it to blend into my background but still have that wow pop factor. So I'm grabbing the same color cardstock that I made my blue background with, and I will heat emboss that. I love heat embossing my sentiments with clear embossing ink, and I use the Versamark clear embossing ink. And then I like to use the fine detail embossing powder that Hero Arts puts out. I think that it just gets into all of the areas so effortlessly, and I don't have to do too much to my projects to make them look really nice. I do keep that in a little sandwich container that I did get at the Dollar Tree once upon a time. But if you are struggling with heat embossing, especially with light colors like white or silver, you probably have expired embossing powder. Yes, embossing powder can expire, so not trying to be weird or anything, but I would recommend dumping it out and getting a fresh container. And I bet that you won't have that same problem anymore of having like sloppy looking sentiments or sloppy looking stamped areas, because that embossing powder, it just gets gummy after a while, and it has nothing to do with any particular brand. It just, it happens. The air has water in it, and especially here in Minnesota in the summer, it gets so humid, and it doesn't last forever. So PSA, change out your embossing powder. Just saying. All right, we'll pop up that sentiment as well. And I do think that that really just finishes off the front of this project so nicely. But the flowers are going to get those little centers. So this is my little memo to you. If you do not know, Hero Arts has a monthly subscription. So it is called the Hero Studio. So this month, again, it was released. It's always going to be open from the 1st of the month through the 27th of the month. So you have a whole month to figure out what you want if you want it. This month, the theme was fall. Last month, it was Halloween. And the month before was kind of nautical, if I remember correctly. Oh, wait, no, it was retro. So it was like road trip. So they definitely are on trend with the items, but I'm using these enamel dots that came in the card kit from this month. And they're just so perfect, and it's so effortless to put these little centers on to my flowers. Now, I have ink blended the area that they're going onto. So yes, they are self-adhesive embellishments, although they're going onto a tiny piece of paper that has probably not dried with ink. So it's wet-ish underneath, and I don't want any of the embellishments to fall off. So I did add a little bit of liquid glue just to help them along and to keep them secure. But if I did not ink blend behind where I secured them, they probably would stick just fine without adding that liquid glue. But sometimes I get a little bit worried about things falling off, so I just grab my liquid glue on second nature, if you will. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet, and click the notification bell if this video interests you. I do have lots of videos on my channel from Hero Arts already, so if you have something in your stash and you're not sure what to do with it, I might have a video that would help you out. Now I do have a few of these sentiments already done and ready. You can see I made a mistake on that one, but I flipped my paper over. But I didn't want to just put them in my sentiment stash. I wanted to use it up, and I put one in the inside of my project and finished off the inside with one more little surprise. A flower. Isn't that cute? Anyway, if you've liked or learned anything, let me know by hitting the like button or leaving me a comment on this video. It really does help out my channel and just is a fun place to check out inspiration. So I hope you come back for my next one, and we'll see you next time. Bye, crafty friend.